Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's been a while since I released my last video. And today I have a special guest, Mimi Blunt from London, UK. And today we'll be talking about how to master your mindset. And we're going to hear a lot from Mimi. Now, before I introduce Mimi, I'm going to just say that Mimi is a spiritual mindset mentor. She's got over 111,000 followers. That's amazing. And I know Mimi get followers every day. She also a best-selling author. Her best book is called The Answer Is You. Mimi also international speaker, inspirational and motivational speakers. And Mimi got a lot to offer. So without any other introduction, I want to welcome Mimi on board. Welcome, Mimi,
Thank
and
you,
great
Puru.
to have you here. And we love to know more about you and your journey.
Thank you so much, Puru, for having me here today. And yeah, I'm honoured to share any knowledge or information that may be able to help anyone in any way. And yeah, this has just been my mission and my passion and my quest since I was a very young child. So yeah, it's like, we get called to do things. Sometimes we don't understand at the time why, but the purpose is always reveals along our own life's journey.
Absolutely. So, Mimi, before we begin, it will be really good for our audience to know because everybody has a purpose
Yeah.
to life, whatever they want to do. Why you decided to help people to heal themselves? With you said the answer within, with you, right? Within inside you. So
Yeah.
why you follow the journey? Why you decided to do this?
But it was weird because since I was literally about 4 years old, I always used to have a reoccurring dream. And the reoccurring dream was that I was the person that was going to go and help people. And I was brought up in church, and every Sunday, my parents would try to stop me from the pastor would say, anybody wants healing or anybody wants to have extra prayers. I would get up even at 4 or 5 and run down the aisle and go to the side room. And when the pastor was administering prayers, I would sit on a chair bigger than him and I would be administering prayers to people as well. And I went through a lot of pain and suffering in my own life, the majority of my life actually, but I realized that I always had the quest, that the mission inside of my heart was to heal all pain and suffering in the world. And how could you heal all pain and suffering if you don't understand what it feels like to have pain and suffering? And then I understood that all pain and suffering is actually coming from ourselves. So that's where the mission and my life purpose really came into play, was to show people that all pain and suffering is a choice. And we have the ability to change our path. We don't have to have pain and suffering in our life. It's there to actually help us. So
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Great point, Mimi. You said is whatever happened to us happened. We can't change it, but we can change how we think, how we
yes,
can relieve the pain. It is our decision, is our choice. Absolutely great point.
yeah.
Totally agree. We can heal ourselves. It's everything, lies within us. Great. So, Mimi, today we want to kind of give our audience a bit of a flavor of what you do. So people, we know a lot of people suffering, lots of people in pain for different reasons, men, women, children. So can you take us through some of your learning, how people can heal themselves, how people can master their mindset to heal themselves from suffering?
Definitely. So I think the biggest problem is Peru is like when we're born into a world where suddenly we just think we're here, and then what's life's all about? We have life experiences, and then those life experiences sort of really determine how we're going to go forward. But we're not. So what I like to teach people is the foundation. If you have the foundation, like when you buy a car, you have the manual, you have the manuscript, you know how it works. We've never been given one to show us how we work. But there's two aspects of us. We have our human side, where we have our life experiences, and we, I believe that we pick our parents, we pick our situations before we even come here, because as a soul, we choose to overcome these life experiences, but we forget that. So we get trapped in the pain, we get trapped in the experiences that we don't want to have. So, I believe that life is like a school, and every single situation is always helping us. It's there to help us, not to hinder us. And everything's about choice. So if you're in a situation and you may be unhappy, first of all, you have to have clarity, as in, what is it that you actually want? And most of my clients will say, I just want to be happy. But what is happiness to you? You can't just say happiness, because you have to know what that means to you. And then you have to have clarity. You have to write it down and script it and get precise on what you're actually searching for in life. And then once you've done that, then you can then start taking the steps to move towards that happiness, because we block ourselves. All pain and suffering is basically us fighting against ourselves. It's like we want to have something. We know in our hearts what we want and who we want to be. But because of our life experiences, we'll look at it and think, well, I can't because of this reason, or I haven't got the money, or I'm trapped, or I'm in a relationship I don't want to be in, or I hate the job I'm in, but I need the money. But that's just a vibrational interpretation of where you are at this moment. That doesn't mean it can't be changed. So all the work is inside of you. Nothing external to you has to change. So I do like to say to people that the answer is you, but the problem is you. But the great thing is the solution is you. And when you learn to tap into yourself, there is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. There's nothing that you cannot overcome. No sickness or disease, nothing can stay on you once you learn to balance and harmonize your body and your mind, your heart, and everything else.
Quite a lot of point, Mimi, you talked about the problem is you, the solution is you, the answer is with, comes from you. So if somebody want to start, as if, first time hearing from you, what is the first step they should take? Because, obviously giving a great message, but somebody say, okay, I don't know where to start.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
very, very first step is learning to be aware, because otherwise our minds are like a monkey mind. They're always constantly getting you to think about the things that you're not happy with. So most of the time we focus on all the things we don't want. We talk about the things we don't want. We're always like looking at those things, and all those things bring up emotions, a feeling, which is just a chemical residue inside of us. But then that feeling then starts that whole process, that process of that cycle of pain. So the first thing is to become very, very aware of yourself. So you can start keeping a journal of how I think, how I feel. When I think like that, when I feel like that, what are my actions? How do I behave? Because you are literally just a program, and every single thing that you have, you'll have a trigger. And a trigger just means that if somebody says something to you, you will go into a story. So what's the story that you're telling yourself? It's about becoming so aware of yourself so that you can start stepping out of your program. And when you have an awareness of what's operating you, then you can go in and change it. And then I teach people then the tools to go in and change that operating program, so their life starts to change. It can't be done the other way. People are always trying to do the external, change the relationship, change the job, but you take yourself everywhere you go. So you don't get what you want, you get who you are and what you're vibrating out.
Great, great, absolutely, agree with that. I think one point you talked about is like, is everything inside us, and we need to talk about what we want, not what we don't want, because when we start talking about what we don't want, this we don't want, everything trapped inside us.
Yes.
Great point. Yeah, that's something I've learned quite a while ago. About talk about what you want, self-talk,
Yeah.
positive self-talk.
Well, the
Positive
words that
self-talk.
you speak, the words that you speak have
Yeah,
power.
yeah,
Everything's vibration. Your thoughts are vibration. Your
yeah.
feelings are vibration. Your words, what are you bringing into your life? Because, and even if you're just messing about and just saying, like, you could be saying a word that you don't want to experience, but you keep saying it over and over and over and over again. The universe is just a mirror to what you are outputting, and that's where the power comes, because you realize that when you learn to change what you're completely emitting and stop responding responding and start reacting, then you then start bringing in, you're back in control. And that's when you have to realize that life really is a game. And when you learn to play the game, it can become quite enjoyable. Doesn't mean you're not going to have circumstances or things that are going to upset you, because everything's there for clarity. How do you know what darkness is unless you've had, how do you know what light is unless you've had the darkness? How do you know what love is unless you felt pain? Every situation is just helping you to clarify, actually, I don't want that anymore. I don't like the way that person's speaking to me, so I want to be respected. So, but it's all an internal job. It's not an external. You do the change within, and everything external changes to you.
Great, absolutely, great point, Mimi. So if you were to leave your final thoughts with our audience, Mimi, what that would be?
I would just say to people, stop listening to everything that people tell you. Like, whatever seeds you're accepting is going to start growing, and it's going to start becoming part of your reality. There's such thing as called the human consciousness, and everyone is feeding the things they don't want in life by giving it more attention. So turn away, turn the telly off, stop reading the papers, and start getting complete clarity on what it is you want in your life. What does your ideal life look like? And start working on that every day. Like going to the gym, you don't get an 8-pack straight away. It's consistency, focus, discipline. Because if you discipline yourself to have a daily routine that's going to work for you to help you achieve the things you want, 100% you're going to achieve it. But if you give it like a plant, you water it one day, you leave it for 4 days, then you go back to being depressed, it's never going to change. So you have to decide and you have to commit that being happy and living a fulfilled, happy life is your number one goal.
Absolutely. Consistency and daily habit. Great
100%.
point, Mimi. Okay, so if people want to connect with you, what's the best way to connect with you?
Literally, I'm very easy to find. On Google, you can just put Mimi Bland in and you'll find me. Instagram, mimibland.london, LinkedIn, Mimi Bland, Facebook, mimibland.london. So very easy.
Great. Audience, you had really great points from Mimi about life, how to master your mindset, and how, Mimi always talk about everything is inside you. You have to work on inside and you find your solution. And so stay tuned. We will have a lot of people coming and giving you tips of different things. And with regards to connecting with Mimi, I will put Mimi's clickable link below this video under her bio as well. So you can click the link and connect with her as well. And please do share these videos, because you never know. By sharing this video, you could help someone else to heal their life. And do subscribe, because when you do next video, you'll get an alert when you subscribe to that. So stay tuned. There's more coming, and bye for now.